We're going to turn down to the Wrightsville area of York County, which is just across the river from where Barbara is standing. As the sun rose this morning, the full impact of yesterday's storm on Eastern York High School became clear. The school's gleaming performing arts center obliterated. Classrooms that looked like you could almost have class in them if only they had a roof. Seth Kaplan was there deep into the night. He's live in the ABC 27 newsroom with more. Good afternoon, Seth.
Good afternoon to you, James. Just within the last hour, I heard from Eastern York Assistant Superintendent Doug Enders, who tells me plans for next week's scheduled opening of school are still uncertain. Sounds of the cleanup hours after the sounds everyone's talking about.
The wind started basically screaming.
People, too. Good thing school here doesn't start until next Wednesday, or will it?
My son was excited to do like the morning announcements for school and start up.
Jeremiah Martinez, his mom, Cynthia Martinez.
He's autistic and he's hearing impaired. So it was going to be his first year doing it, and he was so stoked to do it. Now it might be, I guess, delayed. I'm not sure.
The Performing Arts Center here, have you been inside there?
I have many times, yeah.
What's it like inside there, or at least what was it like?
Wonderful.
Not anymore, school leaders told us as they surveyed the damage to fields too, but nothing else quite like this. The adjacent middle school mostly spared. Damage everywhere, highly localized. As the storm moved east, this home's roof blown off, windows blown in. Up the street, this.
I live in the middle, yeah.
Right next to this, or is it lived in the middle?
And I don't know if it's safe to live in there right now.
He wasn't home when all this happened. Michaela Del Giorno, her home maybe a couple hundred feet away, mostly untouched, was home with 3-year-old Aviana. What happened, Aviana?
There's a monster.
A monster, she thinks. Grown-ups thought it might have been a tornado.
And that's what I knew, it was just time to go down into the basement. You're never really trained on this kind of stuff in Pennsylvania necessarily.
But you knew about the basement.
Yeah. But definitely the surrounding houses took a big hit, and the high school right up there too. Pretty wild.
But again, very localized. Cynthia Martinez came to see the school because she heard about all the damage, not because she experienced much herself up the road in Pelham Township. She was with her mom, also named Cynthia, who was halfway between there and here, who showed us and told us what she saw and heard.
We give out food at Gateway Church. The damage and the wind and everything, it was really crazy.
And in some ways remained so.
And the power went out.
And stayed out as the sun set, with crews working late into the night to try to bring it back on. And this morning, he hopes things maybe weren't as bad as feared, put to rest as we flew overhead. School is scheduled to start here Wednesday. Hard to imagine anything resembling a normal school opening that soon, but is there any way to use any part of the building? What about the middle school on the same property, which at least visually doesn't appear to have significant damage? Those are all questions the school district is trying to answer right now, with power not yet restored there. So you can imagine it could be some time before it's even safe to restore power to the building, looking at that damage, right? James, there were some people in the building at the time, a teacher, a small number of athletes, a custodian. Thankfully, everyone managed to stay safe. York County's Advanced Technical Rescue Team worked with firefighters and other rescue workers to reunite everyone with their families.
I mean, that is the important thing to remember here, but also just remarkable that no one in all of this was seriously injured. Just seeing all of these devastating images. And Seth, that school, it looks like such a nice building. When you went up there yesterday, I was watching you, and you're in that parking lot, and just seeing pieces of the roof scattered across. I mean, what was going through your mind when you drove up to it?
Well, you never know, James, as you know, when we go out on these stories, we hear scanner chatter, you might say, right? You know, things that might or might not be true, and then we go out there to see with our own eyes and confirm what might have happened. And so it was my first time actually at that school for all the time I spent in York County, and we thought as we drove, okay, we'll have to look for the damage, see where it is, because sometimes things sound worse than they are. And this is one where, you're coming up the road and you're like, oh my goodness, it is just as bad as it sounds. On the other hand, as you said, thankfully, another thing we weren't sure of early on as these first reports came in was the idea that there wouldn't be any injuries, especially over on the Columbia side, where you had these building collapses and you hear rescue workers just, of course, fearing the worst. Is somebody trapped inside, all those sorts of things. And so that was The very nice upside surprise was how, despite all the damage to property, the people are okay.
Absolutely. Again, that is the most important thing. Seth Kaplan, great job live in the ABC 27 newsroom. Thank you so much for that.
Hi, I'm Eric Finkenbinder from ABC 27. We're excited to announce the new ABC 27 News Plus app. Live stream newscasts or watch content on demand. This is different than the ABC 27 app on your smartphone. You can check this out at home and it's very easy to use. With a Fire Stick, go to the home page, scroll down to search. From there, enter ABC 27. Move over to the apps and there we are. Click the icon and install. It's just that easy.